Hello guys and welcome to biology class, and of course if you're preparing for your WAEC or your JAMB or any O-level exam, NECO, GCE, NABTEB, what have you, all right? These biology classes are meant to bring out the best in you and of course to make you succeed in that exam at once, all right? And today we're going to look at a new topic that is genetics and variation. All right, do not forget that these tutorials, all of these episodes, they are brought to you by the O3 Schools application. Okay, we have the application for your JAMB, we have the application for your WAEC examination, which can also serve for other O-level exams. All right, so please, if you have made a personal decision to pass your exam at once, all right, please ensure you get the application on your phone today, activate it and start getting the most out of it. All right, so we'll talk about some of the features of the applications, but before that, let us see a past question from the JAMB application. This is a 2010 question number 45. All right, we use the question search feature on the app, all right, to search for questions on genetics and variation. All right, and then this is one of the questions. It says that a pair of genes that control a trait is referred to as a pair of genes that controls a trait is referred to as A says an allele, B says recessive, C says dominant, D says a hybrid. All right, so according to our analogy, okay, and the way we prefer to do it, we'll come back to this question and many more at the end of the class, because at O3 Schools we believe in teaching you first. We believe strongly that once we have taught you properly, then answering questions will be the very least of your problem. All right, so we want to first of all correct that gap, that hiatus, that lacuna, all right, of teaching, and then we'll give you the best so that you can succeed on your own. All right, so please do not forget to download the application. The app will supplement, okay, or the videos rather that you are making will act as a supplement to the application. The app is a bumper package to make you succeed. It has everything you need for your exam, all the past questions for all the subjects on the application, so you don't need to buy any past question outside. What's more, you will see the classroom feature. The classroom feature has lecture notes that are structured according to the JAMB syllabus. In the classroom, you also find the latest JAMB syllabus, so you will not need to go and be worrying about where to get JAMB syllabus from. And also, there are lecture notes structured according to that JAMB syllabus. And also, there's a study plan in that classroom. You can create a study plan, or you can say that I want to prepare for my JAMB in 1 month. All right, so JAMB, these are the 4 subjects I'm doing. Create a timetable for me using the syllabus and all the notes on the application. I want to study all of them, okay? Smash past question and succeed. But many of you made the mistake of preparing for your JAMB without your syllabus. That's a big mistake, all right? So what the app will do, it will create the timetable for you using the time, all right? Even though you say you don't want to study on Monday, okay, it will move Monday for you to create the timetable for you, all right? If you say you want to prepare for your JAMB in 3 months, in 4 months, in 2 months, okay, however you want it, all right, it will prepare it for you. Also, there are video lessons on the application now, all right? So our app every year make new update to the application, and our app has inbuilt videos now, all right? So you will not need to, if you say you do not want to watch the YouTube videos, okay, which are free which are definitely free, okay, it is your choice, okay? So please ensure you jump on the app. Also, there is, of course, we'll talk about the question search feature that can enable you to search for question according to topic, and all the questions that JAMB has set pertaining to that topic will come out for you to answer. It's also available on the WAEC application. Then also we have the mock challenge, okay? So we know that also competition brings out the spark in students, all right? So when we put students in an environment where they can compete against each other to see how good they are against other students, you see that what it brings out, it ignites what kind of a competitive advantage for them, all right? So it gives them a competitive edge over other students, all right? So please ensure that you participate in the mock exams, okay? Either in the JAMB mock exam or in the WAEC mock exam on the WAEC app also, all right? So every Saturday, all students writing JAMB or WAEC come to our application to compete with each other to win amazing prizes. But the major reason why we coordinate that challenge is not for you to come and be winning prizes, okay? It's for you to familiarize yourself with JAMB past questions, JAMB likely exam questions, to familiarize yourself with how JAMB set questions. It will put you in place for the examiner. Okay, just why I said that many students, after they have studied very well, they will not be setting questions for themselves. They may ask this question. Okay, so it makes what passing JAMB very easy for you. All right, so please ensure you get the application. In fact, it's a solution, okay, for what? All your JAMB worries. All right, so O3 schools is the best way to school. All right, so please get the application, activate it. All right, you can message this phone number on WhatsApp to get your activation key, or simply click on activate on the app. The next page that will open, click on buy activation key. You'll see the options to activate your app. The amount on the app when you download it is the correct activation fee. All right, so pay the amount, send the receipt to this number on WhatsApp. We're not running to anywhere. Okay, you will get your activation key. All right, so now let us look at today's topic, which is what? Genetics and what? And variation. Genetics and variation. Now, I would like to begin by this. How many of you have been told before that that you look like your parents? Okay, this Peking resembles mama. Okay, or this child looks like what? The father. Okay, no, now the mama resemble. No, now two of them. You carry in ear, you carry in eye. Okay, so you have heard of what this time and time again. So long you are in this class, there's no way you say you have not heard it before. Either being said to you, okay, or being said to your parents, or you being present while it is being said to what? Another person. Okay, so you have heard all of this before, and of course, it is because of what? Heredity, because of what? Genetics and what? And variation. Okay, it's because of all of these things we're able to what? To study what? Genetics and what? And variation. All right. So now that is the importance, right, of heredity, of what? Of genetics and what? And variation. You see that what? Your father and your mother will give birth to what? To children, okay? And then, of course, those offsprings will be similar to the parents. Although they are not completely identical, they are not identical. Okay, you know there's a difference, okay? Identical means exactly the same. Exactly the same, okay? So you are not exactly the same as your parents, okay? So there may be what? There will definitely be what? Slight differences. Slight differences, okay, that is the ones we call what? Variation, right? So there will always be slight difference between what? A parent, okay, and what? And the offspring, all right? So we talk about all of this. I'm just trying to introduce the class in a way that you will understand, all right? So that is why we study what? Genetics, we study what? Variation, okay? And a man known as what? Gregor Mendel, okay, is regarded, okay, as the father of what? Of modern genetics. Modern genetics, okay. Gregor Mendel, okay, is regarded widely, okay, as what? The father of what? Of modern what? Genetics, okay. He was one that laid down what? The laws. Okay, the basic laws and principles that what guides what us what in reference to what? To genetics. All right, and then people who study what? Genetics, okay, they are called geneticists. Okay, so people who study what? Genetics, they are known as what? Geneticists. Okay, they are known as what? Geneticists. Please take note of what? Of that. It is very, very important. If you're not so, I would have told you. All right, I'm sure most of you are saying, this Master T's new face, okay, so I will explain why when we talk about when we are talking about acquired characteristics. Okay, I will explain what happened to me and why I'm like this currently. All right, but do not be scared. Okay, I'm completely fine. Right? Somebody will say it's cancer. Not be cancer. Not get cancer. All right, so that is by the way. All right, so people who study genetics, okay, they are known as what? Geneticists, okay, and a very, very, very important organism which has helped us, okay, to study what genetics, okay, is what? Is the fruit fly. Fruit fly. fruit fly is known as what? Drosophila melanogaster. Okay? Drosophila melanogaster. Okay? That is what? Fruit fly. It became one of the most famous organisms. Most famous organisms. Okay? It became one of the most famous organisms in genetics research. In genetics what? Research, all right? It became one of the most famous organisms in genetics research, because it has many advantages, okay, to scientists, all right? And some of the reasons why it was used then and why it is still widely used now, okay, are what we're going to see very, very soon, all right? So that's why I'm saying that if the fruit fly, okay, known as Drosophila melanogaster. Take note of this organism. Okay, you see it in your exam, or either WAEC or your JAMB or your NECO or your GCE or your NABTEB. Okay, it is very, very popular question. All right, so the fruit fly is fruit fly. Okay, known as what? Drosophila melanogaster. Okay, it's a very famous organism rather, used in in genetics research. Okay, and the reason why it was used then and why it was used now are what we are going to see now. All right, so please ensure you like this video. Okay, we have seen that so many people, all right, do not like this video. They do not support our videos. You don't know who want, and you don't even know that when you like the video, there are so many advantages. Okay, there are so many advantages, all right, when you like a video. Liking our video now, all right, will make this video to be suggested to other students who are preparing for exam like JAMB and WAEC and NECO and all of that. Okay, that this video will be important to your exam, all right, so it will be suggested to them. That means indirectly you are making other people to pass. All right, because when they find this video, they will learn and then they will succeed like you are learning also. All right, so please ensure that you click on that like button. All right, also subscribe to this channel. If you have not subscribed to this channel, click on the subscribe button now. Subscription is free. You're not even paying for it. Okay, look at the way come and buy it. I'm easy to teach you now. All right, so you cannot just subscribe for just click on that subscribe button. All right, you are not paying for the video. It's free. Why would you not subscribe? So please click on the subscribe button and then also click on that share link. Okay, whether you're watching from Facebook, watching from YouTube, or watching from TikTok. Okay, follow us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok. I don't know, should we be begging for all of that? Those are things you should naturally do. Okay, so please click on the like button, copy the link on the video, share it to your friends and your loved ones. Let them all come and learn. So we're talking about the fruit fly and why it was used. Okay, so say the fruit fly known as what? Drosophila melanogaster. Okay, we say it's a very famous organism used in genetic research. And here is it's why. Number one, short life cycle. Okay, so the fruit fly, that's a Drosophila melanogaster, has a very short life cycle. Okay, so the fruit fly, which is a Drosophila melanogaster, okay, moves from the egg to the adult stage in about 10 to 14 days. Okay, so the fruit fly moves from the egg stage to maturity, okay, in about 10 to 14 days. Okay, this is what makes it easier for scientists to be able to study many generations, generations, okay? And of course, because they can study many generations, they can be able to have good result within a short period of time. Okay, you cannot want to be studying genetics and you go and carry elephants. Okay, elephant no go gree die. Okay, you see the elephant before elephant matures. Okay, it takes a long time. You start now, maybe you start in 2027 or 2030. Okay, before you now get your result, it's in 2050, 20 years later. Okay, so that is not a wise thing to do. So you need an organism that has a very short lifespan. Okay, that has a very short life cycle. Okay, so it moves from the egg stage to the adult stage in about what 10 to 14 days. So this can make you to study many generations. All right. So the short life cycle is one of the reasons why the fruit fly, okay, is very famous. All right. It's very, very useful, okay, when studying genetics. Then number 2, it produces many offsprings. Produces many offsprings. Okay. Now one pair of flies. That is, one pair of flies can produce hundreds of offsprings in a short time. Okay, one pair of flies can produce hundreds of offsprings in a very short time. Okay, so that makes using them very, very, very easy also. So you see that reproductive cycle, okay, is not very, very long. Okay, it's not like humans now. Okay, you're born now until 9 months time. Okay, in a very, very short time. All right, one pair of flies can produce lots of offspring. Okay, and this this makes us to have a lot of data. Okay, a lot of data for accurate results. All right, this gives you a lot of data for accurate results. Then number 3, also they are very easy to handle. All right, so they are very, very easy to handle. They are tiny, they are cheap, okay, and do not need much space. They do not need much space. Okay, they do not need much space for food. Okay, so the fruit fly, okay, they are tiny, they are cheap, okay, and they do not need much space for food, which makes them very perfect. Makes them perfect for both laboratory, okay, and classroom research. Okay, so they are not imagine I want to study genetics now and carry elephants inside one classroom. Okay, imagine me putting elephant in this my space now. Where I go stand? Okay, so they are they are tiny, they are cheap, and they do not need much space for food, making them perfect for laboratory and classroom research. Then also number 4, they have visible traits. Visible traits. Okay, so traits like the eye color, okay, like wing shape, okay, like body color, are easy. They are very, very easy to observe, okay, under the microscope. Okay, so for the fruit fly, traits like the eye color, which you can see, okay, the wing shape, the body color, they are very, very visible under the microscope, which eventually makes studying dominant and recessive traits, very easy. Okay, so they have visible traits like the eye color, like the wing shape, like the body color, which now makes studying dominant and recessive traits very easy. I do not want to explain what dominant and recessive traits are now. Okay, in this class before the end, we are going to know all of these are. Okay, so that's number 4. They have a visible trait. Then number 5, simple genetics. Another reason is simple genetics. Number 5, simple genetics. Okay, the fruit fly, the Drosophila melanogaster, has only 4 pairs of chromosomes. Okay, they have 4 pairs of chromosomes. Okay, so that means that the fruit fly has how many chromosomes? 8. They have just 8 chromosomes, or 4 pairs. Okay, so you can say 4 pairs, or you say 8. Just like we now, we have 46 chromosomes, or you can say we have 23 pairs of chromosomes for us human beings. Okay, we get 23 pairs of chromosomes. Okay, why the fruit fly has just only 4 pair of chromosomes. Okay, so they have simple genetics, which makes it easier to map genes and study mutations. Okay, makes it easier to map genes and study mutations. So I'm going to see what mutations are, okay, very soon, okay. So they have what simple genetics, okay. They have just 4 pairs of chromosomes, don't unlike us that have 23 pairs, all right. So making it easy to map genes and to study mutations. And despite this, they are basic what genetic principles, okay. They are as easy, as simple as their genetics is. Their basic genetic principles applies to all living things. Applies to all living things, okay? Living things, even what, including humans, okay? So despite this simple genetics that they have, having 4 pairs of chromosomes, okay, this basic principle, okay, of what, of their genetics, okay, this simple genetics applies, okay, to all living things, including humans, okay. And then lastly, number C is, okay, their similarity to what? To humans, okay. Similarity to humans. Number C is similarity to humans. Note that about 75%, okay, of human disease-related genes, okay, have a match. Okay, they are similar, okay, to what? To humans, okay, in the what? In the fruit fly what? Genomes, okay. About 75% of human disease-related genes have a match. They have a match, okay, all right, in the fruit fly what? Genomes. All right, we'll also see what genomes means very soon. All right, so it's important that we discuss about the Drosophila melanogaster because it's a very important organism, okay, as it pertains to what? To genetics, okay. And then we have said that what? For so many reasons, the fruit fly has a lot of advantages, and that is why it is widely used, okay, in the study of genetics. Okay, number 1, the short life cycle of the Drosophila melanogaster. Okay, it has what? A short cycle from about 10 to 14 days, okay, the egg develops into what? Into the adult, all right, produces many offsprings. One pair of flies can produce up to what? Hundreds of offsprings in a very short time. Then what's more, they are very easy to what? To handle. They are cheap, okay, and of course they do not need much space for food. Then we said visible traits. They have what? Visible traits, like their eye color, like their body color, like their wing shape. You can see them under the microscope, making it what? Very easy for both what? Laboratory and what now and classroom research. They will say simple genetics, okay. They have simple genetics and also their similarity to humans. So we say that 75% of human disease related genes have a match in the fruit fly genomes. So studying them makes it what? Easy for scientists to what? To understand what? Human diseases, okay, and also what? Genetics, okay. So that is about the Drosophila melanogaster. All right, so we'll go now and start discussing about what? Everything we need to know about heredity, okay, from heredity to what? To characters, to traits, to genes, all of the terms that are related, okay, that you are expected to know as a student preparing for any exam concerning what? Genetics and variation or heredity. All right, so now let me begin with a very simple example. All right, so please ensure you have liked this video, okay, like the video, subscribe to this channel if you have not. All right, so this is Knowledge Capsule channel. All right, so please ensure you subscribe. If you have not subscribed before, subscribe to this channel. All right, then of course ensure you copy the link of the video and share to your friends and loved ones so that they can learn and be happy, all right, and understand and pass their exam at once. All right, so now let us talk about what? Now it's something very simple, okay. Let's say we have what? A father like this, okay, all right, and then this is the mother, all right. Mother has big head, okay. So now this is the father, Then this is what? The mother. Okay, what will happen? Definitely, they will what? They will interbreed. All right, they will go into what? Sexual relationship. All right. So according to what the layman, the word they will sleep with each other. Okay, or the what? Undergo what? Sexual what? Reproduction, and then they will give birth to what? To offsprings. Okay, so let's say we now have what? The son. Okay, and what? The daughter. Okay, let's say this is a boy, and then this is a what? It's a girl. All right. So, and of course, we have talked about the fact that what? That offsprings that are produced from as a result of sexual what? Reproduction. Okay, they are what? They are similar. We have said that they are not identical because they cannot be exactly the same. Okay, we have what actually was spoken about that. They are not identical. So do not make the mistake of saying I am identical to my father. You cannot be identical. Identical means exactly the same. If you do not understand what all of these terms that we are going to be discussing about what genetics and variation, okay, you may not be able to understand it properly well. So you need to understand all of these terms in their totality. Okay, so the offsprings, these are the offsprings. Okay, the offsprings, they are not identical to the parents. These are the parents. This is the parent generation. Okay, they are not identical, but they have similar. So what you can say is that I have similar characteristics to my what? To my parents. Okay, so they have what? Similar characteristics. Okay, or we say similar traits. Okay, so you can see what? Similar traits. Okay, but definitely they are not what? Identical. You cannot be exactly what? The same with your parents. Okay, so there must be what? Some slight differences, like we have spoken about in the beginning. There must be what? Some slight differences, okay, that are found between what? The parents and what? And their offspring, which is what we know as what? As variation. Okay, so we say variation are slight differences that are observed between what? The parents and their offspring. So hope I'm not too fast. Okay, so there are what? Slight differences that we observe between the parents and the offspring. Okay, so that is what? Variation. Of course, it means that what? That some of the characters from the father are seen in the what? In the offspring, while some from the mother are also seen in what? In the offspring. That means definitely that there's a transfer. There's a what? A transfer happening. A transfer of what? Of characters from the parents to the offsprings, isn't it? Yes. And that transfer of characters is what we know as what? As heredity. Okay, so heredity is what? Is the transfer of what? Of characters from the parents to the offsprings. Okay, are we clear? All right, so we have said that what? In the parents, okay, there are characters that are transferred, okay, from these parents down to this what? Offsprings. Okay, and these characters that are transferred, okay, or rather the transfer of these characters from the parents to the offspring is known as what? Hereditary. But how are these characters being transferred? And like when I taught you about mitosis and meiosis, okay, check the O3 Schools channel. All right, when we talked about mitosis and meiosis, all right, I'm very, very sure that I explained what about what I talked about, what I spoke about DNA copying. Okay, so these characters that are transferred from what? From the parent to the offspring is through what? This what? Process known as what? DNA copying. All right, I've talked about DNA, so I will not be so much elaborate in this class about DNA. All right, but please know that what? The characters from the parents are transferred to the offsprings, okay, which is known as what? Hereditary. The transfer is known as this hereditary. Okay, it is done via a process known as what? DNA copying. It is important to note that when an offspring is produced from sexual what? Reproduction, they are usually what? These slight what? Differences. Okay, you see, it's what? Is same organism. See, same organism. You will see the same species too. okay, but you see slight differences there, okay. These slight differences, like I said, is what is known as what? As variation. And sexual reproduction contributes to what? To heredity and what? Variation. You must take note of all of these. Now, the next important thing we'll talk about is the difference between what? Characters, okay, and traits. Somewhat used together, okay? So you can say that what? Heredity, the transfer of characters or traits from parents to offspring, okay? So you can use characters in place of what? Of traits, okay? Sometimes when you are what? Talking about terms in what? In genetics, but then they are what? Different, okay? There's a slight difference between what? Characters and traits. So let us see the difference between characters, okay, and what? And traits. It is very important you know that also, okay? So now, what is a character? A character is any inheritable character. Any inheritable feature from parents to offsprings. Okay, so that is what character. Character is any inheritable what? Feature. Okay, from what? From the parents to the what? To the offsprings. Examples of characters include, we have what? Hair color. Okay, we have what? Hair type. Okay, we have what? Eye color. Okay, we have what? Skin color. Okay, we have what? Lobes. Okay, your what? Your ear lobes. All right. So all of these, they are what? Characters. Okay, they are examples of what? Of characters. Your hair color, your hair type, your eye color, your skin color, your lobes. All of these, they are what? The what? The what? Characters. The examples of what? Of characters. All right. On the other hand, traits. Traits are alternative forms. Traits, on the other hand, and they are what? We call them what? Alternative forms of characters. Is that clear? Okay, we call traits the alternative forms of what? Of character. It's just like you have 3 cars in your compound. You have a Camry, you have a Corolla, okay? You have what? Let's say G-Wagon, okay, all right, and then your dad told you to go to the market to buy something for him, all right. When you go to the car park, okay, the you like G-Wagon now, okay, but G-Wagon no gree start, okay. So at G-Wagon no gree start, okay, at the end of other cars, you find an alternative, okay. So there's what? There's Camry that you can use. You enter Camry start, you move, okay. So alternative forms of characters are what we call what? What we call what? Traits. All right. So, for example, your eye color, there are so many colors, okay, that the eye can have. Some people, they have what? Brown eyes. Brown eyes. Okay. Some people, they have, you have some people that have what? Blue eyes. Okay. Or bluish green. Some people have what? Bluish green eyes. Okay, some people have what? Different types of what? Of eye color. Okay, even hair color. You have seen people that have, I have dark hair. Some people have a brown hair. Some people have a mixed color. So I don't know, different colors of what? Of hair. People have different colors of what? Of hair. Okay, even the hair type. All right, there's baby hair. Okay, there's what? Different type of what? Of hair. There's what? Skin color. Some people are what? Are dark. Some people are fair. Some people are in the middle. Okay, even your ear lobes. Okay, there are so many. There are 2 types of what? Ear lobes are what you can have. Okay, so since there are what? Alternative what? Forms of what? Of these characters, those are the ones we now call what? Traits. Why these ones are examples of characters? Hair color, hair type, eye color, skin color, lobes. They are what? They are what? Characters. Then what? The types, the alternatives. Like this hair color now, you can have what? Brown hair. Brown hair is now what? Traits. It's an example of traits. So if they say hair color, that's a character. If they say brown hair, okay, that is a trait. Okay. If they now say black hair, okay, is it a trait or a character? Okay, it is what? It's a trait, okay, because it's an alternative type of what? Of hair. If someone tells you brown eyes, for example, okay, you should know that what that is what a trait, okay, it is not a character. Okay, the character for what these brown eyes that will correspond to the brown eyes will be what? Will be eye color. Okay, what is your eye color? My eye color is what? Is brown. Okay, so brown is the trait. Eye color is the what? Is the character. All right. So character is any inheritable feature from parents to offsprings, while the traits, okay, they are what? Alternative forms of what? Of characters. So as a way of what? Of recapping, okay, of going over this again, we have said that was we'll talk about variation, okay, which are slight differences that are observed between parents and what? And their offsprings. Okay, we talked about character. We talk about heredity. We said that heredity is what? Is a transfer, okay, or is a transmission of what? Of characters from what? From parents to what? To offsprings. Okay, that is what heredity. Heredity is the same thing as inheritance. Okay, if you hear inheritance, okay, it's the same thing as what? Has heredity. Okay, so heredity and what? Inheritance are one and same. Okay, so character we see is any inherited feature from parent to offspring. I'm sure by now nobody can confuse you. So for example, if I say earlobes now, earlobes, if I come and tell you that way, earlobes, okay, is earlobes a character or a trait? 1 second, okay, I'm sure you got it right? Earlobe is what? Is a character. Is a character. So but if I now tell you that what? If I tell you that what? Free lobes or free earlobes, okay, because your earlobe can either be what? Can either be free, can either be what? Free or attached. Okay, so some people have free earlobes, some people have what? Attached earlobes. So if I tell you that what? If I tell you free earlobes, that is no longer a character again. That is now what? A trait. Okay, that is why we say that what are traits are alternative forms of what? Of character. Okay, and then of course we'll talk about variation, and then definitely you should know that what that variation is very, very, very important, because at the end of the day, variations what increases the chances of what? Of survival for what? For the organism. All right, and then also I remember talking about what? The fact that what? That characters are transferred from parents to what? To offspring through a process known as what? As DNA copying. Okay, DNA copying. So let us talk about DNA. All right, DNA copying, and then we'll see all of that. Okay, so we say that characters are transferred from parent to offspring through a process known as what? DNA copying. So now, what is DNA? DNA is a genetic material, okay? Is a what? A genetic material that carries what? All the necessary information. I've talked about DNA before, all right? So I'll just try to throw some light on it, okay? So it's what? A genetic material that carries all necessary information, okay? So DNA is like, it's like a blueprint, okay? It has what? Sequences, okay? All right, so like from here to here now, okay, this is what a sequence. Okay, so we say that that DNA, all right, is what? It's a genetic material that carries all necessary what? Information. It is like a blueprint, okay, that carries all necessary information, okay, that carries all necessary what? Information. It's like a blueprint that carries what? All necessary information. So whatever eye color we have discussed about, whatever character, whatever, either it's eye color, okay, whether it's hair color, okay, whether it's what is ear, is earlobe, so okay, all of these, they are all present in what? In the DNA. DNA stands for what? For deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay, this is what DNA is. DNA, deoxyribonucleic what? Acid is what? Is DNA. All right, so where exactly, okay, in DNA do we find what? All of this what? Information. All right, there are certain sequences, okay, just like I'll show you what this sequence. There are certain sequences sequences, or we call them segments, okay, in the DNA that what? That codes, okay, that codes for a particular character. Okay, so if it's hair color now, okay, there's what? There is a what? A particular sequence, okay, or segment of that DNA that will code for what? For hair color, okay, or will code for what? For eye color, all right? So that is that. And this what? Segment or this sequence, okay, that is present, okay, in the what? In the DNA that codes for a particular character is what known as what? As the gene, okay? So we say that what? That there are what? Certain what? Sequences or segments, okay, in the DNA that codes, okay? You know what code is? Code is nice. Not like we literally what? Coding, okay? All right, so in the DNA is where it happens, all right? So they code for a particular what? Character, all right? So those sequence or segments, okay, that code for a particular character, okay, is known as what? As gene. So this means that what? That DNA is what? Is like the entire genetic material, okay? The entire genetic material. Why in the DNA, a particular sequence or segment of that what? DNA, okay, codes for what? A particular character or what? A trait, okay, which is known as what? As what? As the gene, okay? It is the gene which is present, the particular part of what? Of the DNA that codes for a particular character or what? Or trait. So with this knowledge now, we can what? Define heredity, okay? So we can say that heredity now is the process by which what? Characteristics, all right, which are also known as what? As traits, okay, such as what? The eye color, your hair type, hair color, your height, your blood group are transmitted. So please take down this definition, all right, for heredity also. So I say that what? That heredity is the process by which characteristics, okay? No, I told you that you can also say traits, okay? Or trait, but you know the difference between characteristics and what? And trait, okay? So say heredity is the process by which characteristic traits such as what now? Such as eye color, okay, such as what? Height, such as what? Also, let's say blood group, okay, are what? Are transferred, okay, are transferred from parents, okay, to what? To offsprings through genes, okay? So it is through genes, okay, that these characters are what? Are transferred, okay? Because in that DNA, okay, there's a sequence, okay, there's a segment of that DNA that now codes for that particular character you are talking about, all right? So which is known as what? As the gene, all right? So that's why we're defining heredity again. That's what? As the process by which characters, okay, such as what? Your hair color, such as what? Your height, such as your blood groups are transferred from parents to offspring through genes. And these characters, they are controlled by DNA. Please keep writing this. You can say these characters are controlled, okay, by what? By DNA. This DNA present in the reproductive cells, okay, such as what? Now the egg and the sperm, all right? So it is the egg and the sperm that are fused together, all right? So these characters are controlled by DNA, which is present in what? In the reproductive what? Cells, such as what? The egg and the sperm. And therefore, we can also say that what? That heredity is the transfer of genetic what? Characteristics, okay, from one generation to the next, okay, through what now? Through what? Genes. Through genes. Okay, so we have said that what that these characters are controlled by the DNA, which are present in the what in the chromosomes. Okay, sorry, right? Put chromosomes here in the chromosomes. We are not talking about chromosomes yet, but we'll get there. Okay, in the chromosomes of what of reproductive cells. That is what the egg and the sperm, and then we'll redefine heredity again also as the transfer of genetic characteristics, okay, from one generation to the next through what genes. Okay, so if you say genetics, heredity, the transfer of characters from parent to offspring, very correct. Okay, all right, like for the WAEC students, okay, it's very correct. But if you give an examiner a more better, more compounded what definition, like what heredity is the process by which characteristics or traits such as eye color, height, blood groups are transferred from parents to what to offspring through genes, is even better. Okay, if you now say that what heredity is the transfer of genetic characteristics from one generation to the next through genes, it's even much more better. Okay, so all of these, they are all definitions of what of hereditary. And please know that what that these characters can be what morphological, that is what physical. Okay, these characters may be what morphological. Okay, they may be what physiological also. And number 3, behavioral. Okay, so the characters may be what morphological, that is what physical. I want to say morphological factors, okay, or characters. Those are the physical characters. One you can see like the eye color, okay. All right, so they may be what now? That is what this one's physical, meaning what physical. Okay, so the characters may be morphological, they may be physical, they may be physiological. They may be what behavioral. The reason why you need to know all of this is because in your exam, they may ask you which of the following is not a morphological factor, or sorry, not a morphological character rather, right? And if you do not know what this ones means, okay, you have what? You have missed it. So examples of what of morphological there will be what would be height, okay, height, okay, like your skin color, like your what? Your eye color. Okay, you see all this one that what are things you can see that what they are physical. They are the physical what characters. Okay, then also for what? For physiological. Okay, like for example, like your blood group. Blood group. Okay, or sorry, blood type rather. Let me just say blood type. Okay, it's an example of what of a physiological what it's a type of physiological what character. Like let's say your metabolism also is a what is a physiological what character. Then for behavioral, maybe for example instincts, like example tendencies also. Okay, your instincts or your tendencies, okay, they are your behavioral what characters. You must have heard when they'll say, this boy just behave exactly like his papa. God, this boy reminds me of his father. Okay, there must be something that your father was doing, okay, that you are not doing, that will make somebody to make that kind of statement. Like maybe your grandfather will make that kind of statement. So you are doing exactly like your daddy. Okay, so instinct. Some people carry that word. Their parents what instinct. Okay, all right. When something wants to go wrong, they can just easily know. All right. So all of these, they are behavioral characters. So then we have physiological, like what, like blood type, metabolism. Then also morphological, which are the physical characters, like what, like the height, the skin color, and the eye color. Now let us now talk about gene in very, very more elaborate terms. Okay, we have spoken about the fact that in the DNA, all right, we have genes. Okay, but before we talk about genes, let's also talk about DNA more. Okay, so characters are transferred from parent to offspring, okay, through a process known as what? As DNA copying. We have seen that that DNA is what? Is deoxyribonucleic acid. So let's talk about the DNA. So what is the DNA? Okay, so DNA is basically like your body's instruction manual. All right, just understand the analogy I'm trying to make. Okay, it's basically like your body's instruction manual. Okay, body's what? Instruction manual. Okay, that or kind of what, like a blueprint, like I said earlier. Okay, it's like a body instruction manual or blueprint that tells every cell in your body how to build and run you. Okay, that tells every cell in your body how to build and run you. Okay, like I said, it's what is toss what all what information contains unnecessary what information. All right, so DNA, okay, is like the instruction what manual. Okay, it's a blueprint that tells every cell in your body how to build and what and run you. Just think of it like your body is a giant factory. For example, think of it like your body now, this your body you are seeing, okay? Think of it like a giant or a very big factory, okay? A very what? Big for factory. Why the DNA now is like a master plan, okay? It's like a what? A master what plan that contains what all the instructions that is needed for this factory to run successfully. Okay, so your body is the factory, your DNA is the master plan that contains all the instruction that is needed for this factory to what? To run. All right. So that is what the DNA. That's why I say it's like an instruction manual or blueprint that tells every cell in your body how to build and run. All right. So that is what the DNA. That means that what? That without the word the DNA, okay, the factory will not know what to do. Your body will not know what to do. Okay, without what? The master plan, which is what? The DNA. So the DNA is very, very, very important. Okay, so we say the DNA is an instruction manual or blueprint that what tests. Okay, this was like a genetic material that stores what unnecessary what information. All right. So now, what is the shape of the DNA? The shape now, the shape is like what? It's like a twisted ladder. Twisted what? Ladder. Okay. It's like a twisted ladder. I'm showing you the shape of what of a DNA currently. Okay. So like a twisted ladder, we say it's a double what? Okay, helix what shape. All right, it has a double helix shape. All right, it's like what? A twisted what ladder, a double helix shape. All right, and in the DNA there are some letters. Okay, it is coded in letters. Okay, the letters are A, T, G, and C. Okay, so the DNA is what is coded. Okay, this A, T, G, and C are seen here. They are chemical bases. They are chemical bases. Okay, all these what letters are seen here. They are what? They are chemical bases. A here is what is adenine. T here is what is thymine or thymine. G rather is what is guanine, and then C there is what is cytosine. Okay, so these are what? They are what? These are the chemical bases. All right, in what? In the DNA. A, T, G, and C. A is adenine. T is there is what is thymine. G is what is guanine. While C is what is cytosine. Okay, cytosine. All right, cytosine. And usually this A here pairs. They are like best friends. Okay, A here pairs with T. Okay, so adenine we pair with what? With thymine, while guanine also we pair with what? With cytosine. Okay, so G pairs with C, A pairs with what? With T. All right, so that is what the codes. Okay, the chemical bases that are present in what? In the DNA. Adenine, thymine, guanine, and what? And cytosine. Meaning that what? That the DNA is what is written in what? In codes. Okay, A, T, G, C. All right, so now where is the DNA located? The DNA is located in the nucleus. In the what? In the nucleus. Okay, the nucleus, okay, of what? Of every what? Cell. All right, the DNA is located in what? In the nucleus of every cell. All right, so we have said DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. So let me just say put it for putting sake, deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay, so that is what the DNA. All right, and then we say that what there are some sequences, okay, or what segments, okay, in the DNA, okay, that codes for a particular character that are known as what, as the gene. So now let us talk about the gene, okay, so that we'll just what keep on moving to other terms. Okay, I spent a lot of time talking about what characters, traits, talking about heredity, and then DNA and gene. So let us talk about the gene now. The gene. So now the gene, like what I said before, okay, it's a segment of what, of the DNA, all right, that's what that codes for a specific character or what, or trait, isn't it? So now I want to explain gene for you in a way you never forget. Okay, so at least you keep the analogy in your head, and then to help you whenever you forget the definition. All right, so think of the gene like a tiny instruction manual. Okay, so the gene is like what, a tiny instruction manual inside your body, that tells your cells how to make proteins, which in turn controls how you look. Okay, controls how you look. Okay, controls how your body works, and even sometimes how you behave, and even how you behave. Okay, so that is what a gene. Okay, it's a tiny instruction manual inside your body that tells your cells how to make proteins, which in turn controls how you look. It controls how your body works, and even sometimes controls how you behave. Okay, that is what the gene. All right, just think of your body like a very huge building. Okay, your body like a huge building. Okay, let's say you want to build like 200-story building now, for example. Okay, think of your body like that, what huge building. And then we have already seen that the DNA, okay, contains what, the master plan, isn't it? It carries all the instructions, okay, about how this building will to be built. Now, what is the gene now? The gene, we have said the gene is a segment. It is a segment of what? Of the DNA. Okay? It's a sequence. It's a segment of the DNA. If the DNA, if your body is a huge building and the DNA is the master, carries what? Also the master plan that contains all instruction on how the building will be built, then what will now be the gene? The gene now, okay, it's like one page. It's like one page. It's like one page from this what, master plan. Okay, it's like one page from this master plan that contains instruction, on how what, a specific part will be built. For example, you can see the window. Okay, this is how you want the window to be built. Okay, do you understand now? All right, so now if your body is a huge building and the DNA carries the master plan that contains all the instructions and how your body will be built. Okay, how your body will be run, how you will look. Okay, the gene now is like one page from this master plan that contains the information or instruction on how let's say a specific part of your body will look like. For example, your eye color now, or your skin color, okay, or your height, okay, or any other characteristics. Okay, so that is what the gene is. So it's a tiny instruction manual inside your body. Your body is the huge building. The DNA carries the complete instruction. Okay, the gene is like one page from inside the DNA. That's why we call the gene a segment of the DNA. It's a particular segment or a sequence of the DNA that codes for a particular trait. All right, so the gene will be one page from this master plan, okay, that contains instruction on how a specific part okay, on how a specific part would want to be constructed. All right. So, for example, like your eye color or your skin color. I'm sure that with this, you'll not be able to forget what a gene is or what DNA is. Okay. So now, let us proceed further. Now, where do you find the gene? The gene is located in chromosomes. Okay. So you find them in chromosomes. Chromosome. Okay, so the gene is is a specific part. Okay, is found in the chromosome. Like, okay, let's say this is a chromosome, for example, like this. Okay, so somewhere here, okay, you see a part in the chromosome, you find the gene. All right, so the gene that are located in the chromosomes. Okay, and genes that are made up of of DNA, because the gene is is a segment of DNA. So you can say that genes are made up of DNA. They are located in the chromosome. Humans have 46 chromosomes. 46 chromosomes. Okay, but they have thousands of genes. Okay, so genes are located in the chromosomes. And also we also call gene the unit of heredity. Unit of heredity. Okay, we call gene the unit of heredity, which are then passed on from parents to the offsprings. Okay, so please take note of all of this about the gene. Also, we have another term that we known as as the genome. Genome. Okay, please take note of that. Genome. Genome is the entire sequence, okay, of the DNA. It is the entire sequence. Entire sequence of the DNA. So if this is, let's say this is a sequence of the DNA like this. Okay, all right, then like this. If these are the genome is is the entire sequence of the DNA. Okay, so like this, like the human genome now is the entire sequence of genetic material. That's what we call the genome. All right, so do not confuse gene with genome. Okay, so while gene is a segment of the DNA, genome is the entire sequence of the DNA. Never confuse both of them, please. Then also we have another term known as as the RNA. Okay, we also have another term that we call as as the RNA. RNA. This RNA is known as the ribonucleic acid. Okay, it is the ribonucleic acid. Okay, its major roles are one, to what's it called? Number one, protein production of protein. Okay, and then number two, protein synthesis. Now the RNA is like It's like a helper or a messenger. Okay, messenger that takes instructions from from the DNA. Okay, that's what the RNA. The RNA is like It's like an helper. It's like a messenger for the DNA. It takes instruction from the DNA and it helps to produce proteins. Okay, think of the DNA like the big boss in the office. Okay, let's say you went to visit somebody in the office. Will you just go and see the person directly? No. So you first see who now? The secretary. Okay, secretary will not go and tell Oga. Okay, Oga will not give instruction on what to do. Okay, so the RNA, okay, is like an helper or messenger to the DNA. It takes instruction from the DNA and then helps to make protein, which now helps to build our body. RNA is is single-stranded. Okay, it is single-stranded. Okay, it is single-stranded. It looks like a single ribbon. Okay, unlike like the DNA, that's a double helix shape, isn't it? So RNA is single-stranded. Okay, just like like a single ribbon. Okay, and also it also has its own codes. Okay, it is coded as UGC. Okay, for DNA we say it's ATGC. So the only difference between the DNA and the RNA is in this U and this T. Why T here for DNA is is thymine. Okay, the U in the RNA there is what is uracil. Okay, it is what? Uracil. Okay, that is the only difference. Every other thing is the same thing. Adenine, uracil, guanine, and what? And cytosine. Okay, while for DNA is what? Adenine, thymine, guanine, and what? And cytosine. All right. So now let us talk about what the types of RNA that we have. Please, for any reason, if you have not liked this video, please, that thing you are doing is very wrong. Oh, is very, very wrong. Please like the video, okay? Subscribe to this channel, all right? And then, of course, copy the link of this video and share to your friends and what? And loved ones, okay? So, types of RNA. So, basically, we have what? 3 types of what? Of RNA. Number 1, we have one we call mRNA. We have one we call T, say small letter T, small letter M, so it's mRNA. We have one we call tRNA, okay? Then we have one we call rRNA, okay? So this mRNA, the first one is what we call what? The messenger RNA, okay? It is the mRNA, the messenger RNA. It carries what's it called? The code from the DNA to the ribosome, okay? It carries the code, okay, from the DNA to the ribosome, okay? So that's what we call the mRNA, the messenger RNA. Then the tRNA is called the transfer RNA, okay? This one brings amino acids, okay? It brings amino acids to make proteins. All right? So please take note of that, okay? So it's called what? The transfer RNA, tRNA, all right? What it does is what? To bring amino acids, okay, to make what? Proteins. Then we now have what? The rRNA, which is called what? The ribosomal what? RNA. This ribosomal RNA itself helps to build the ribosome itself, okay? It helps to build the ribosome. Okay, so it helps to build the ribosome. So these are the 3 types of RNA that we have. The messenger RNA, which carries the DNA code, okay, to the what? To the ribosome, or carries the code from the DNA to the what? To the ribosome, okay? Or you can say carries the DNA code to the ribosome. Then we also have the transfer RNA. Okay, this one what? Brings amino acids to make what? Proteins. They also have the ribosomal what? RNA, which helps to build the ribosome is what? Itself. So it's very important you take note of what? Of all of this. So the RNA basically helps in what? In production of protein and also in protein synthesis. So another term, okay, that we also need to what? To take note of is what? Is the allele. Allele, okay. Now we know that that the DNA is what? Is the genetic material. It is the genetic what? Material. Also, we also know that that in this what? Genetic material called the DNA, there are segments. There are segments that are known as what? That are known as gene, isn't it? We'll explain that perfectly well. Okay. Now, also, this DNA is very, very long. Okay. It has what? A very, very long sequence. Okay. So it is very, very, very long. And so what happens is that this DNA that is very, very long, it gets what? Condensed. Okay. So what's like, you know what we mean by condensed? Now, how many of you have drank condensed milk before? That condensed milk, that one that be very small milk cup, okay, not like the big milk can, okay, very small one, but it's very sweet. Let's call it condensed milk, okay. So that DNA that is very, very long, okay, it gets what? Condensed, and when it gets condensed, it now forms what is known as what? As the chromosomes. Okay, so this long sequence of what? Of DNA, it gets what? Condensed to now form what? The chromosomes. And when it gets condensed, we now see that what there's a particular place, okay, there's a particular point in this what chromosome where we now find what? The gene. I showed you an example before, okay? So there's a particular place, okay, in the what? In the chromosome, all right? Somewhere, maybe somewhere here, okay, where we find what? The gene, a particular location in what? The chromosome where we find the gene. And then again, we know also very importantly that what? That this gene, okay, it will code for a particular trait, okay? The gene codes, it codes for a what? A particular what? Trait. So it can what? Can code for what? For eye color, okay, can code for what? For hair color and what? And the likes. Okay, so this gene in the what? Present in what? In the chromosome will be responsible what? For coding for what? For what? This particular what? Characters. Okay, but however, this hair color may be what? Maybe brown hair. Okay, it may be what now? It may be black hair and what? And the likes. And of course, we know that what? If this is a chromosome and this is a particular point in this what? Chromosome called what? The gene, okay, that codes for what? For this what? Particular what? Character. Then it therefore means that what? That there are what? There are alternative forms, okay, of what? Of this what? Characters or this particular what? Tree I'm talking about, okay? So we have said that what? That the gene codes for a particular what? Character, okay, or trait, all right? And what? These traits, okay, or these characters, okay, may either be what now? They may be what? Brown hair, okay? If, for example, we are talking about hair color now. Hair color, if we are specific about hair color, this hair color may be what? Brown hair, maybe what? Maybe black hair, okay? So they may be what? These traits. All right. So for that particular reason, it means that what? That means that what? That there are what? There are what? Alternative forms, okay, of what? Of these what? Characters, okay, or of this what? Traits that are present, okay, in what? In the gene. All right. So, and the gene is one that is responsible for coding for what? For those what? Characters. Now, let me make it easier for you to what? To understand. Okay, where we are going to is what is allele. Okay, we're trying to make you understand what alleles are, isn't it? So now, let me go over this again, all right? Now, we know that what? Human beings have how many chromosomes, okay? We know that humans have 46 chromosomes, or the one we call 23 pairs of what? Of chromosomes, isn't it? All right, that means chromosomes, they appear as what? As pairs, okay? They appear as what? As pairs, okay? That means in a particular point in this what? In this what? A chromosome, okay? We find what? The gene. The gene is what is there, all right? So now the gene is coding, for example, let's say the hair color, all right? I remember I told you specifically that what? That you may have what? The same organism, the same species, but there will be what? Slight differences. Okay? This gene is coding for what? For a particular what? Character. Okay, which is what? This hair color. Okay, and because of these slight differences, okay, that are found, okay, that are present naturally in every what? Organism, okay, or that are observed between the parent and what? And the offsprings, okay, it means that what? That this hair color may have what? Alternative what? Forms. Okay, so someone can have what? This gene, particular this same organism or same species, okay, but now they are having alternative what? Alternative forms of what? Of this what? Characters, okay? Like this hair color may have what? Black hair, may have what? Brown hair, okay? Now, what is now responsible for what? For these alternative forms, okay? It is now that what? That the alleles now come into play, okay? It is now what? Now talk about what? The alleles, because here we're having what? The same organism, we're having what? The same species, okay? But we're having alternative form, okay? Of the same what? Character, all right? So that means that what now? That something is responsible for it, and that is where the alleles come to what? To play. So it may be exactly the same gene, but due to these slight differences, okay, it may call for an alternative, okay? It may call for an alternative. So if at this point, okay, the gene calls for what? For an alternative, okay, is now what we now refer to as what? The alleles. Okay, so in simple definition, you can say alleles are what? Are alternative forms of what? Of genes, okay? They are alternative what? Forms of genes. Those are what? The alleles, the alternative forms of what? Of gene, all right? That's why we can have what? Hair color, all right, which can now be black hair or what, or brown hair. It's the same gene, okay, but it's calling for what? For an alternate because of variation, because of the slight differences, all right. So that is what now what alleles are. In simple terms, okay, an allele is a different version, okay, it's a different version of the same gene, okay. So in simple terms, we say that what? That an allele is a what? Is a what now? What do you call it? A different version of the same gene, okay? So that is what an allele is, okay? So now we have seen what an allele is. Now let's talk about what the chromosome a little bit, okay? So that we'll be able to what? Get a very, very full picture, all right? So now the chromosomes are like, they are like tiny packages, okay? We have said that the genes are located in the chromosomes, okay? So the chromosomes, they are like tiny chromosomes. Okay, if you want to write this analogy so that you can easily remember it, okay, please, you can write it down. So I want to clear some of the doubts, okay? So many people will be wondering, okay, what are chromosomes? What are chromosomes, okay? So chromosomes are what? Just say they are like tiny packages inside the cell nucleus that carry your DNA, So they are like what? They are like tiny packages inside the cell nucleus, okay, that carry your DNA, all right? So now just think of it like your chromosomes. Think of them like the books in what? In the library, okay? Your chromosomes, think of them like as they are what? They are books, as books in the library, okay? So just picture what? The library, all right? The books inside that library, they are what? The chromosome. The book contains what? Many pages, isn't it? Okay? The book contains many pages. The pages, okay, in what? In this book, the chromosome in the book. The pages, what will not be the pages in the book? Okay? I want to see somebody that's smart. If you are thinking very smart, you know that the pages in the book will be what? Will be gene, okay, that now contain the instructions that are used in what? In making you, all right? So the chromosomes are like the books in a library, while the pages, okay, in those what? Books, okay, are what? The gene, which contains instructions that are used in making what? You. So you can see what? Your body now as what? As a very huge library, okay? Like a huge library, okay? Then what next? The chromosomes, okay? They are the what? The books. They are the books in the library, okay? Why what now? The pages, okay? Why the gene? They are what? The pages of what? Of the books. Okay, why what now? What will now be remaining left now? The DNA is the language used in writing those books. Okay, so just see it like that. Your body is like a huge library. The chromosomes are the books in the library. The gene are the pages of the books, okay? That is why when I show you a chromosome like this, okay, I'll show you that there's a particular point in the chromosomes, okay, that is called what? The gene, all right? So, which codes for a particular trait, all right? So now that means that the gene is like a page in the book, which is the chromosome, while the DNA is the language that is used in what? In writing what? The books. So the chromosomes, they are made up of what? Of DNA, okay? They're made up of what? Of DNA and proteins, okay? Made up of DNA and what? proteins, okay? And that's why, like I said, like the DNA is what is tightly what condensed, like coiled, okay? They are coiled or condensed so that they can fit into the cell, all right? So the chromosomes are made up of what? DNA and proteins, okay? They are tightly coiled, okay, so that they can what? Fit into the cell. Chromosomes also, they come in pairs. Please take note, they come in pairs, okay? One is from the father, and the other is from what? The mother, all right? So please take note of that. Chromosomes, they come in pairs. One is from the father, the other is from the mother. And humans, they have what? 46 chromosomes, all right? Humans have 46 chromosomes. They have 46 chromosomes. I've said that before. 46 chromosomes, or we say 23 pairs of chromosome, all right? So the first pair to the 22nd pair, they are called what? The autosomes. Okay, please take note of that. The number 1 to the number 22 pair of what? Chromosomes, they are called the autosomes. Please take note of that. If it were not important, I would have told you. Why the 23rd pair? Okay, the 23rd pair, okay, the 23rd pair, okay, is called what? The sex chromosome. Okay, where we have what? XX for what? For the female, then XY for the male. All right, so please take note of what? Of that. So chromosomes will contain what? Genes that are what? That carry what? All what? Traits. Okay, they carry genes that what? That controls all traits. They carry genes that controls all traits. Okay, think of it: eye color, hair color, etc. All right, and they are located in what? In the nucleus. Chromosomes, they are located in what? In the nucleus. Take note of that also. Now, another what? Term, okay, we'll look at is what? Is inherited traits and acquired traits. Okay, so we'll look at inherited first. All right, then we'll look at acquired. All right, so I'm drawing close to talking about what? All these terms. All right, so please ensure you like the video, subscribe, download the O3 Schools app if you want to truly succeed. Okay, you see how far you go. Okay, so we're going to look at what? Inherited traits. Now, traits which are present in a person since the time of the person's birth. Okay, and then they are passed from the parents to the offsprings, okay, are the ones we call the inherited traits. All right, so we say that inherited traits are what? Traits that are present in the person since the time of birth and are transferred or passed from parents to offsprings. Okay, so these are what we know and call as inherited what? Traits. So inherited traits are traits that are passed, okay, from parent to offspring, and they have been present since the time of what? Of birth. All right, those are the inherited what? Trait. That means there are conditions for what? For inherited traits. Okay, before you say a trait is an inherited trait, it means that number 1, okay, it must be what? Be present. Must be present from birth. Okay, and then number 2, it's what? Can be passed. It must be passed, okay, from parents to the offsprings. Okay, so these are what we know and call as the what? The inherited what? Traits. Okay, a very good example is when they give birth to you. Did you not have 2 nostrils? Okay, you had nose now with these 2 nostrils, isn't it? You had what? 2 eyes. You had 2 ears. Okay, you have 2 arms. Okay, you have 2 legs. Okay, so those are what? Those are inherited what? Traits. All right, so we can see them. They are visible and they are passed. Okay, from parents to what? To offspring. Okay, they have been present since the time of your birth. Right, those ones are called the what now? The inherited what? Trait. Then also we have ones we call the acquired traits. All right, so this is where I'll talk about why I'm currently looking like this. All right, so I was involved in an auto crash. So yes, I was involved in an auto crash. Okay, I'm currently showing you where I hit my car. All right, and sustained injuries. Okay, from all right. So it's not something I'm proud about. Okay, man, it has been like I know when things happen to you, you become you try to reminisce and you think about a whole lot of things. All right, so should I have not done this? Should I have done this? Or well, I was involved in is it one in English student? Do you say ghastly or fatal? Okay, all right. So which one is correct? Okay, so it's ghastly accident. Okay, so I was involved in a ghastly motor accident. All right, so my life was not lost. That is the most important thing. All right, I'm currently showing you the the scene, okay, of the accident and how the car was shattered. All right, to tell that a human being came out from that, man, it was just God. Okay, so God kept Master T. All right, my name is Thank God. And I thank God for all of that. Now, I'm saying all of this to get to somewhere, all right? So now, if it's fatal for English students, fatal is something that is an accident that leading to death. Leading to to death, okay? All right? So, it is ghastly, okay, when something that is horrible, all right? But no life was lost, okay? So, use ghastly, all right? English students, you may see that in your exam, all right? While fatal is one that leads to death. So now, why I'm saying all of this is because number one, after the accident, I sustained some injuries. All right. For example, if you see my head here, you will notice that let me take it closer. You see that there's the hair here is more than the one here. Okay, so I sustained some injuries here. All right, which has been taken care of by the doctor. Anyway, that's why I'm not seeing any cotton wool or any other thing there. All right, so I had to cut my hair completely so that breeze can be touching my hair naturally, and so that the wound, okay, or the injury can heal on time. Now, this injury that I have acquired, okay, in my lifetime, all right, when I give birth to my offspring, all right, will my offspring have this injury on the head? So let me just give you a minute to think about it, okay, or some seconds to think about it. Now, this injury that you are seeing on the head, you can see me wearing long sleeve now, okay? So I have I sustained injuries from the accident, okay, my hand. I didn't want you to be seeing my hand. Okay, that's why you can see that I'm not wearing my regular short sleeve, all right? So now, will this injury that you are seeing here now, okay, see by the side here, you also see an injury. It's an injury here also, okay? So will this injury, all right, be seen in my offspring? Will my offspring have this injury also when they are giving birth to, all right? So the correct answer is no, they will not, all right? So acquired traits are those traits that we acquire during the course of our lifetime, okay? During the course of our lifetime, okay? So as you are living your life, those things that you acquire, all right? Those ones are called the acquired traits, all right? Those injuries, those scars, all right? All of them, they are acquired traits. They are not passed from the parents to the offspring, okay? So it is unique to you. Now you get them, all right? So like, for example, for a very long time, there's a cousin of mine that loves playing football very well, all right? In our family, we are fine boys, okay? And we have pretty straight legs. Our legs straight and we fine. I can see me, fine boy now, all right here? All right, so now I had a cousin, fine boy, straight legs, but he lost playing football, okay? During the course of the football, he had a very, very bad injury, and then his leg was kind of distorted, all right? So he was not working, he was not able to walk very straight again, all right? So now, when he gives birth to his offspring, will that offspring also have that kind of dented leg? No, okay, because he acquired it during the course of his life, okay? So that is an acquired trait, okay? And that's why we say that acquired traits are the ones a person develops, okay, during his or her lifetime, okay? They are the ones that the person develops during his or her lifetime. That is an acquired trait. So now let us now look at genotype and phenotype. All right, so we're drawing close to the end of the class. Please ensure you have downloaded the O3 Schools applications, okay, and you have started studying, all right? So even if you have people in art classes, okay, in science classes, all right, the app is a banger, Okay, it's a banger, and we have lessons all across all subjects. All right, so let's look at a genotype and phenotype. All right, so now genotype and phenotype. Okay, I'll try to explain this in a way you will understand what vividly also. Okay, so now let's say we have a father. Okay, then we have the mother. Okay, and then of course you know that what they both have what a pair of chromosomes. Okay, let's say there's a pair of chromosomes. All right, that of course and in this chromosome, there's a particular location there. Okay, in the chromosome, right? Let's say somewhere here that is coding for what a particular character. All right, so let's say here the gene is here coding for what, for a particular character. All right, now chromosomes are in pairs, isn't it? All right, so that's why humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes. Now at this location now, this gene is what is coding for a particular character. Let's say, for example, it's coding for what? For eye color. For eye color, for example. All right. So this is the father. All right. That has what? Let's say black eye. Black eye. Then the mother, let's say she has what? Blue eyes. All right. So now the black eye. Now let's just present this is what with B. B for what? For black eye. Okay, big letter B for the father, B. Then this one, small b for what? For blue eyes. All right. So now this is the father having what? A black eye, and then the mother is having what? An alternative form. Or you can say what? The mother is having an alternative form. Okay, from what? From the father. All right. So while the father is having a black eye, the mother is having what? A blue eye. Okay, so these are alternative forms of what? Of traits, isn't it? All right, alternative forms of what? Of gene, okay, which are what? The alleles, okay. So now these are the alleles here, the alternative forms of what? Of genes, okay. So the father is having a black eye, the mother is having a blue eye. Now, if you represent what? The black eye with what? Capital letter B, and then the blue eye with what? Small letter b, okay. So capital letter B, black eye, then small letter b, blue eye, okay. Then this means that what? These are what? The set of what? Genes, okay, in the organism, okay. That what? The set of what? Of genes in the organism, okay. So these are the set of genes in the what? In the organism. Now this particular set of genes, okay, this particular set of genes that we are considering here, okay, are what known as what? As the genotype. Okay, the set of genes, okay, they are known as what? As the what? As the genotype. Okay, so take note. Just let me recap. Okay, so now we have represented the black eye with capital letter B, the blue eye, okay, with small letter b, which are the set of what? Of genes that are present in what? In the organism. Now, this particular set of genes, okay, genotype, is what we call what? The word, the genotype. The particular set of genes, this gene set of genes that are discussing here now, they are known as what? As the genotype. So genotype are what? Are the set of genes that are present in an organism. Okay, so if you want to define, it says genotype are the set of genes that are present in an organism. Now, when these genes are expressed, okay, this black eye, this blue eye, when they are expressed, okay, or when they are performing their function, we cannot see them, isn't it? We know that what? They are being expressed, okay? We know that what? They are in the cell, okay? It is being expressed. But then, do we see them physically? No. We do not see them what? Physically. But we can what? Observe it. We can observe it what? Outside, okay? But when it is what? Performing its function, or when it's what? Carrying out or whatever it's doing inside the cell, we're not inside cell now, so we cannot see through a person and see through his cell and see the genotype, okay? Or the set of genes, okay, in the organism, and how they are expressing themselves. We cannot see it, okay? So, but we can observe it what? Outside. Before when I see somebody has blue eyes or someone has black eyes, it's not because you have seen it, okay? So now, those observable characteristics, like whether shortness, so whether somebody is short, whether what is tall, tallness, tallness, or eye color, okay, or skin color, or height, or all those things that you can see, those observable physical characteristics, okay, are the ones that we know as what? As the phenotype. Okay, so the observable what characteristics are the ones that we call what? The phenotype. So we say phenotype are observable characteristics, okay, which are what? Genetically what? Controlled, okay. So they are what now? We say phenotype. On the other hand, they are observable what? Characteristics, which are what? Genetically what? Controlled. Observable characteristics, which are what now? Genetically controlled. All right. So the genotype, okay, that is set of genes, okay, in an organism. That is the genotype. While the observable what? Characters, which are genetically controlled, are known as what? As the phenotype. So the genotype is like a genetic code that you carry for a trait. Okay, let us see genotype, okay, in a more understandable form. Let me explain using another analogy. Possibly, if you don't get this first one, all right, you should get this other one. Please like this video, subscribe, share. I've been begging, okay? I've been begging. Like, copy the link of the video and share it to your friends and loved ones, all right? So I'm saying genotype now. So like I was saying, I said that genotype is like a genetic code that you carry for a particular trait, okay? So it's what? A genetic code you carry for a trait, okay? Now, it's just like the combination of alleles. You know what alleles are now, right? Okay, alleles are what? Are alternative forms of what? Of genes, okay? The combination of alleles, okay? Alleles are alternative forms of what? Of genes, okay? So we can call them what? Gene versions, okay, that you have gotten from your parents, okay, all right? The combination of alleles or gene versions you got from your parents. So it tells us what is in your DNA. It tells us what is in your DNA, even if you cannot see it on the outside, okay? It tells us what is in your DNA, even if we can't see it on the outside, okay? So that's why I say genotype, okay? Genetic code that you carry for a trait, all right? They are the combination of what? Of alleles, okay? The gene version that you got from what? From your parents, okay? It tells us what is in your DNA, even if we cannot what? See it on the outside. So an example like I gave you before is what? Is eye color. Eye color, okay? So eye color, which is what? This character has what? Only two possible what? Alleles, okay? Because one will come from the parents, one will come from what? One will come from the father, one will come from the mother, okay? So this eye color as a character has what? Only what? Two possible what? Alleles, all right? So eye color, B for what? Let's say B for brown color, all right? Then small b for what? What's it called? For blue eyes or blue what color, all right? So now the eye color, we have B, capital B for brown color, then B for what? For blue what color, okay? So at the end, all right, let's say after crossing, okay, you may have what? BB. BB is what? If you're having BB, okay, it means that what now? Are you having what? Brown eyes. Brown eyes, okay? If you have what? BB, okay, capital letter B and one small letter b, okay, is still what? Brown. Okay, because what this what B, all right, the brown is dominant over the what? The blue, okay? Brown is dominant. We'll talk about dominant and recessive very soon. Brown is dominant over the what? The blue, okay? Then if you have BB, okay, this one is what? You have what? Means that the person have what? Blue eyes, okay? So now, so these are what? This is an example, okay? The eye color. There are two possible alleles that we can have, which are what? The brown color and what? And the blue what color? B for brown, small letter b for what? For blue. All right. Then of course, possible combinations are what? These: BB, brown eyes, BB, brown, which is still going to be brown because the brown is dominant over the blue, then BB, which is what? The blue what? Eyes. Okay. So this is what? An example of what? Of what? Genotype. All right. So the genotype, we cannot see them. Okay. We cannot see them outside. It only tells us what is in our DNA. That means that two persons can have the same phenotype, because phenotype are what? They are the physical, they are the what? They are the characteristic that what we can see. Okay, that the characteristics that what we can see. All right, that they are expressed outside. All right, so two persons can have what? The same what? Phenotype. Okay, two persons can have the same phenotype and still have different what? Genotype. Okay, they can have on the outside, you'll be seeing it. This person has blue eyes. Okay, another person too has blue eyes, but inside, okay, they don't have what? The same genotype. All right, so it happens like that. Okay, so here now, if you have what? BB, okay, like for example, now somebody that has BB, which is what? Brown eyes. Another person that have BB, which is also what? Brown what? Eyes, isn't it? Because this B is dominant over this. They are having the same brown eyes on the outside. So the phenotype now, you'll be seeing, okay, on the outside, we'll be seeing that they both have what? Brown eyes, but you can see that what? Inside, okay, the genotypes and what? They are not what? The same, okay? They are different what? Inside, all right? So that's what basically what genotype and what? And phenotype what? Basically what talks about. Now, using the example I used earlier, okay? Let's say, for example, we have a father and mother, okay, having what? A pair of what? Of chromosomes, okay? Now, example, we have what? The father, okay, we have mother, all right, we have chromosomes like this, all right, location in what? In the gene, okay? Then, of course, they're having a pair, all right? So, a pair, all right? So, something like this. So, this is B. This is what? B, what? B, okay? We are talking about homozygous alleles. Homozygous what? Alleles, okay? Homo, know that what? It means what? The same, okay? Homo means the same. And you know that what? You always get what? Two alleles for each gene. For each gene, you have what? Two possible alleles, okay? One comes from the father, then one comes from the what? From the mother. All right. So now for homozygous allele, okay, we're talking about what? Having what? Same. Okay. Homo, from the word homo, we know that what it means what? The same. Now, if both alleles, okay, if both alleles are what? Are the same, okay, we call it what? Homozygous what? Alleles. All right. So if both alleles, okay, are the same, we say each gene has two possible alleles, one from the father, one from the mother. If both alleles are the same, we call it what? Homozygous what? Allele. All right. For example, if you have what? BB now, okay, if you have BB, okay, this is what? Homozygous, okay, but it's what? Is dominant. All right. Also, if you have BB, okay, this is also what? Homozygous. Okay, but this one is what? Recessive. All right. So BB is what? Is homozygous dominant, while this small letter BB, okay, is what? Is homozygous still, okay, because they are the same. Because the definition for homozygous alleles is what? If both alleles are the same, okay, both alleles have to be the same. Like BB now, okay, they are homozygous, but it is dominant. If it is BB, it's still homozygous, but what? It is in this case recessive. It is not what? Dominant. So why this one is what? Is brown eyes. Brown eyes. This one is what? Is blue what? Eyes, okay? So one is what? Homozygous dominant. The other one is what? Is homozygous recessive. So that means that what? In homozygous what? Allele, it's either both of them, okay? It's either both of the alleles, okay? They are what now? It's either they are what? They are homozygous. It's either that what? They are, what is it called? They are homozygous dominant or what? Homozygous what? Recessive. Both of them have to be the same. Okay, both of them have to be what? Exactly what? The same for it to be what? For it to be homozygous. Heterozygous on the other hand, we have what? Heterozygous alleles. Okay, on the other hand, hetero, okay, means what? Different. It means what? Different. Okay, so that is that. Take note of that. I think from the word homo here, we saw what? The same. That's why I've seen them being what? The same. Okay, instead of that word, they are dominant or what? Recessive. Okay, but they are what? They are the same. For heterozygous, okay, alleles, they are what? They are different. So if two alleles, okay, they are what? They are different. It means that what? You are heterozygous for that trait. Okay, if two alleles are different, okay, it means that what? You are heterozygous for that trait. For example, now if you have what? BB, you have a B here, have a B here. Let's say BB, for example. All right. So this one is what? Is heterozygous. Okay, it's heterozygous. It means what? You are heterozygous for that trait, despite the fact that this will still be what? Dominant. Okay, it will still be what? What's it called now? Sorry, it will still be brown eyes. Brown eyes. The B will be dominant over what? This capital letter B will be dominant over the small letter b. The brown eyes will be dominant over what? The blue eyes. Okay, despite it being like this, but it is what? It is heterozygous. Okay, it is heterozygous. Okay, so when you have what? Two different what? Alleles. All right, for a particular trait, okay, it is what? You are heterozygous for that trait. So an easy trick for you to remember homozygous and heterozygous what traits is number one. Okay, so for homozygous, homo, it means what? Same. Okay, so for homozygous what? Alleles, you'll be seeing what now? Something like what? BB or BB. Okay, while for heterozygous, okay, which means what now? Different. Okay, an example is what? Is B what? B. Okay, all right, is BB. B is dominant. This small letter, capital letter B is dominant, small letter B is recessive, but of course, capital letter B will win overall. Okay, so we're still going to have a brown eyes. All right, so it is heterozygous. So when two alleles, okay, all right, are the same, okay, we are going to have homozygous what? Are going to what? Express what? Homozygous what trait. Then if the heterozygous, if the two alleles are different, okay, are going to what? Express what? Heterozygous what traits. All right, so that is that between what? The homozygous what? Alleles and the heterozygous alleles. Remember, we said that what? The alleles are what? They are alternative what? Forms of what? Of genes. Okay, they are alternative forms of what? Of genes. Why traits? What does I say traits are? We say traits are what? Alternative forms of what? Of character. All right, please do not confuse them. All right, so that is that about homozygous and heterozygous what? Alleles. So likewise, we have a term that is known as what? As homologous chromosomes. Okay, all right, homologous chromosomes. All right, please download the app. We'll go to Play Store. It's available for Play Store. Okay, available for your app store. Okay, available for your computer system also. If you want the app for your computer system, just message this number on WhatsApp: 09121515246. If you want to activate your app, message this number on WhatsApp also. Okay, right? Make your payment. You will get your activation key for your application. All right. So also have another term known as what? As homologous chromosomes. All right, so now what are homologous chromosomes rather? Okay, so homologous chromosomes are pairs of chromosomes. Okay, usually one from the father and one from the mother. Okay, all right, they are what? Pairs of chromosomes. Okay, one from the mother, and then one from the father, okay, that are similar in shape, in the size, and in the genes that they carry, okay, that are similar in the shape, in what? In size, and in the gene that they carry. All right, so those are what? Homologous what? Chromosomes. All right, so pairs of what? Chromosomes. Okay, that are homologous what? So that's how we call them homologous pairs of chromosomes. Okay, so there are pairs of chromosomes, usually one from the mother and one from the father, that are similar in their shape, in their size, and also in the gene that they carry. So they carry what? Gene for the same trait. Okay, homologous chromosomes, they carry what? Gene for the same trait, but take note that what? That the alleles can be different. Okay, they carry gene for the same trait. Okay, but please know that what that the alleles, which are what the gene versions now, okay, can be different. Okay, please, those are what to call what the homologous what chromosomes. Then likewise, we have two terms we are going to look at. We have one we call the dominant alleles, and then we also have what the recessive alleles. Okay, alleles. Okay, so we have what the dominant alleles and the recessive what alleles. Now, the dominant allele shows its effect even if there's only one copy. Okay, it shows its effect even if there is only one copy. Okay, so that is the dominant allele. The dominant allele shows its effect even if there's only what one copy. They are represented by what? By capital letters. Okay, by capital letters. Dominant alleles are represented by what? By capital letters. So you can have what? B, B, okay, which is what? The for what? For brown eyes. Okay, you also have what? BB, okay, which is also for what? For brown eyes. Okay, so they are both what? That's what? These are what? Dominant what? Alleles. All right. Then also we now have recessive alleles. Okay, the recessive alleles, okay, they cannot show their effect if they are only one copy. Okay, so if they are one copy, okay, they cannot show their what? Their effect. Okay, they only what? Show their effect if they are what? Two copies. They show their effect when the dominant allele is not what? Is not present at all. Okay, so for example now BB, this one is a recessive what? Allele. Okay, so this one now will be what? Will be blue eyes. Okay, so they cannot show their effects. All right, look at this one now. It is here, but the brown still dominates what over what it was the blue. Okay, so that means that dominant alleles they marks the effect of what of the recessive alleles. They marks they go black, they know they there. Okay, so when you have what a dominant allele and a recessive allele, okay, so a recessive allele cannot show itself as one copy. Okay, but the dominant allele can show itself. It will dominate. Okay, it will marks the effect. It will marks the what? The effect of what? Of the recessive what allele. And the dominant allele, they are expressed even with what? With one copy. Okay, but the recessive alleles cannot be expressed with one copy. Okay, there must be what? There must be two copies. Okay, like this. All right, so we have seen a lot of terms today. We have talked about from the beginning, we talked about heredity. All right, I think this is where we'll end for the class. In the next class, we'll start talking about Mendel. All right, so we talked about what? Heredity. Okay, talk about heredity, we'll talk about what? Traits, talk about what? Characters, okay, talk about what? Now move to what? To DNA, talk about what? The genes, talk about chromosomes, okay, we'll talk about what? Alleles, okay, we'll talk about both dominant and recessive alleles, okay, talk about homozygous and heterozygous what? Alleles, okay, and so many other terms. Okay, all of these terms you must learn them. Okay, you must understand them very well. All right, if you do not understand any of them, you are free to what? To ask questions in the comment section. All right, and of course we'll do justice to what? To it. Okay, so because of time now, let us go to the O3 Schools app and answer some questions, and we are done. So you discover that what most of these questions they have become very easy. That is why at the end, there's no need for me to be answering them. I will show you just a few, and then you will go to the app. You will use the question search feature to search for questions. Question search feature, okay, to search for what? For questions, okay, on the application. Now, this is a 2018 question, number 20. Number 20 says that which of the following traits is not a morphological variation in humans? Okay, I told you about morphological variations. Okay, or I talk about physiological to then behavioral also. Okay, so which of the following is not a morphological? It's not a physical what variation in humans? A, say ability to taste PTC. B, say PTC is phenylcobamide. All right. A, say ability to taste PTC. B, say color. C, say fingerprint. D, say size. Okay, so please tell me the answer in the comment section. Very easy. All right, so now let us see another year, 2016, number 34. Number 34 from the O3 Schools app. Download the app now. They say, which of the following is not an example of transmittable characters in human beings? Which of the following can we not transmit? A, say shape of head, nose, and ear. B, say body structure or shape. C, say color of skin, hair, and eye. D, say lifespan or pattern of what? Of growth. Okay. So obviously, you know that what all of those traits like the eye color, okay, all right, hair type, all of those can be transferred from parents to offsprings. Okay. So now, just tell me the answer in the comment section. Which of the following is not an example of a transmittable character, okay, in human beings? 2010, number 45. It says that a pair of genes that control a trait is referred to as a pair of genes that control a trait. Okay, is referred to as A, say an allele, B, say recessive, C, say dominant, D, say a hybrid. Tell me the answer in the comment section. Then you have 2017, number 33. The gene affecting the same traits and are located at the same location on homologous chromosomes are called A, says autosomes, B, says alleles, C, say loci, D, say chromosomes. You see that JAMB repeat a lot of questions. Okay, they repeated what? On a particular thing now twice, okay, but they have asked you in different forms. That's why I gave you so many definitions for alleles, for heredity, so that I can be able to what? Not be confused. All right. So please tell me the answer in the comment section. The answer is there looking at you. Look at this question. Beside this question now, reason it very well. What will be the answer? The most correct answer for this question. Now, 2023. Number 18. It says that in monohybrid inheritance. Okay, so I'm not talking about monohybrid cross here, all right? Let me see. In monohybrid inheritance, if an organism carries two different alleles, okay, for a particular gene, it is called, okay, you can answer this. This is not how to do monohybrid cross anyway for now, okay? We'll talk about monohybrid cross soon. Say A, say it's heterozygous, B, says homozygous, C, say dominant, D, say recessive. Tell me the answer in the comment section. Then go to the app, use the question search feature and search for this question by yourself. Okay, search for them. Tell me the answers in the comment section. 2022 number 34. Okay. 1999 number 44. 2023 number 17. 2020 number 12. That's 2020 number 12. 2003 also number 41. 2009, number 41. So there are so many other questions on this application, okay? So the app is designed for you to pass your exam at once, okay? O3 Schools is your best sure plug to entering school, all right? So please do not play with your preparation, okay? Prepare adequately and you see yourself succeeding. And remember, Master T, okay? See you in the next class.